So I've been making a series of episodes teaching you how to world build like the greats. We had Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, we had Final Fantasy, now it's time for Persona. So, how to world build like a Persona game? Useful for a dungeon master, useful for a game designer, for a writer, any of those will do. First, we take a sort of happening that is too grand for almost any life happening, even in fantasy, on average. We take something like war between hell and heaven. We take something perhaps like impending apocalypse or a different dimension project of trying something new across the entire world. Merging of two worlds, psychic phenomena taking over the entire planet. Something along those lines. And we decide major players in this conflict or happening. Who are the big shots? Who are the emissaries of those big shots? What are they doing? What are they thinking? What will they be launching on our potentially parallel planet? Because part of Persona experience is having similar but different life experience to living in modern day world. So we take this background and we work it out in detail. We see what are the objectives, what are the win conditions, what are the people, and we figure out how grand these characters are. The big ones, the medium ones, the small ones. We work out their personalities and how they interact and how they speak and their styles of addressing people, their notions of what they brought from other worlds, from other cultures, from their own complete existence between the worlds, their own realms of operation. But we don't tell any of this to the players. We then zoom down to the street level and we do high school life, essentially. You can shift it to university, to primary school, whatever you want, but the idea is we'll look at something bigger than life through the lens of what every human feels is bigger than life, which is kind of ironically life, which is to say true friendships, first loves, real feelings, and everyday struggle of somebody trying to do best with their time in a constantly rushing modern world that won't give it to you. You have to snatch it from its jaws. Every moment counts, every relationship counts, every little friendship counts, every little venture out into a cafe to chat counts as a world-defining event for this. But the players don't know this. The players do feel this because they are essentially teenagers and they feel like that, regardless of that being in this Persona case true. So this is the secret key to world building like Persona series. I'm pretty certain that nobody else has explained this so directly, and therefore I volunteered, I suppose. So, once you have achieved all that, for the player, for their surroundings, make sure you have sufficiently beautiful, sufficiently interesting surroundings and characters. Some that will challenge them, some that will be their rivals, some that will make their experience a bit bitter here and there. You have to use these things as spices, you have to accentuate. Some that will be fought against, some that will help along secretly, some that will do it obviously, some that will sponsor our protagonists without ever laying hands on the enemy but giving greatest powers. All these different weird interactions that happen when you're trying to get a job for the first time, get a girlfriend for the first time, get a friend for the first time, and get among adults for the first time. All of those weird alien things that we get to see for the first time. But now with potential scales that are indeed actually alien. You could actually use aliens here as the pantheon of the pseudo-Persona game or campaign. Whatever it may be, it's mostly psychological. What do we feel the most strongly? What will make us move in the most tremendous manner? What will make us have a fulfilling young experience that will motivate us for the further continuation of our life? That is what makes Persona series popular, what makes it attractive universally or near universally, what draws in those who relax enough to slide into a bit more anime selves of their high school days. Because if you cannot relax into your younger self and be a bit bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, wide open to such experiences, then you will be too cynical to try to enjoy it. And then again, no game is perfect, so of course you'll find things to complain about that break this experience to some extent. But it, in this case, is honestly too small an extent to really complain about if you want some philosophical life simulation. That is, in this case, much more about the modern world life and experience at a young age than the Final Fantasy philosophical experience that I mentioned in the previous episode. That one is quite a bit different, so watch that if you want to world build like Final Fantasy. Anyways, this is how you do Persona. Great art is also excellent because you'll want wonderful music, you'll want wonderful backgrounds, you may even want the whole monster catching with wonderful mythological backing added to it. It's not essential, but it really makes for a super cool thing to collect and make fun out of. And interesting combinatorial gameplay is also a big deal in it, but my part is to explain what makes it, from a Dungeon Master standpoint, tick the world building. So, player, DM, adventurer, game designer, if you thought this was useful or unique, maybe you can spare me a click and I could see you here next, or perhaps even every week, because every other week I have more such things for you. I make them myself. I'm Em, and welcome to dMTable. See you next time.